chair around. Just kidding. All right.
Hey
See you.
everyone, hello everyone, hello. We are live.
I don't see us live yet, but on my side. Where are you?
I'll make
I
us a little bit bigger.
oh, I
There we go. So hello everyone, good to see. I see Elderly Poodle is
I had
here.
to refresh.
I gotta refresh.
Yep, I just refreshed.
Okay. Elderly Poodle is here. I'll be here. Good to see you, Poodle.
I'll be here.
Sylvia, hello. Good to see you. There's KP. KP had to refresh real quick. Hello, Joan. Hello. Teresa, hello. Good to see you. Alisa Aren, hello. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, I
Um,
see.
there we go.
Sorry. I see all my friends, all of our friends.
Yes. So Shane
Yes.
will be here soon. She had to go pick up her son. She should be here very soon. Poodle, so good to see you. Thank you for popping in tonight. Elena, hello. And we have NC Coast is here. And Crazy K is here. Hello. Dennis is here. He wants to learn all about the glass. Wendy, hello. Nice to see you, Wendy. Good to see you. Briar Lee, hello. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you, Briar Lee. Hello, Karen. Tex Mex,
Briar Lee
hello.
says,
Break a leg,
break a leg.
KP. Um,
That's
hello.
hilarious.
Mo, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Jenny
All right,
Mack
I
is
gotta get, I'm
here.
sorry, I've got to get my sound right.
You sound good. I can hear you.
I
Are
mean, I,
you
I mean, I sound, it's just the lag. I have to figure out where I
oh,
want
the
to,
lag. Yeah.
where I want to be to avoid the lag.
Oh, where you want to be? Yeah. Um, you would want to be on string EV Mux then to avoid the lag. Um, yeah.
Hold on, let me,
Poodle is eating biscuits and gravy.
oh, nice.
Um, yeah. So yes, welcome in, friends. We got 32 people here already. Shane will be here soon. Um, just want you want to be in Hawaii to avoid. You want to be in Hawaii to avoid the lag. Yes, that's right, Joan.
So, quick question, like, you hear us okay,
Yep.
and in chat, you hear us okay,
Yep.
and everything's like,
Yeah. Everything looks good.
okay, I'm trying to keep up with what you're saying. You know, what it boils down to is we do this like, this is our 4th time doing it,
hmm
and well, for me, and I'm
It,
trying
it's
to,
different. It's different when you go live.
yep,
Yes, Joan says that they can hear both of us.
okay.
So like when I'm in a live, the YouTube is a little bit faster than the EV Monks chat. I'm always a little bit behind in the chat when I look at EV Mux. And Shane can always see more on the YouTube side before I can. Dinner to show. That's exactly right. Teresa said we both sound lovely, and so does Jenny.
Let me, let me try one thing here. I'm
Okay.
just gonna try and refresh a minute.
Okay. Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, so I'm glad everyone is here tonight. We have some very interesting,
All
KP
right.
has some interesting things to talk about. Some, we're ready for a chemistry lesson. Well, that's
Yeah, you,
exactly what we're going to have tonight. You have to bring back up your file, your,
yep,
that
I
went
will.
away. And I have some samples. So I have some actual samples to show you what KP is talking about. So that'll be fun. That we'll add in some samples.
Okay, it's there.
There we go. Yes.
So you can hear me okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you good. We we can hear you. We can hear you very well.
All right. Sorry,
Really.
everybody. I give us a minute of grace here. I think it's just all on my end. I don't know why I'm getting feedback.
Are you getting feedback again? Hmm. That's odd.
All right. Well, it's mostly the delay when I'm speaking. Let me
Yeah.
try this.
Do you have? You should just try to listen to one. Do you have both volumes up? Like I'd have the YouTube. You could have like the YouTube
I
one
am. I'm
on,
trying to do that.
or
Everybody's saying, "I hear you fine." It's like, that's wonderful. It's just funny on my end. I don't know what's going on. Just hang on a minute.
yeah, sound that's good. We're hanging
Yeah,
on.
hold on, hold on.
Is everyone getting ready for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving's like a week and a half away, which is crazy. Um, yeah, we were just talking about. Oh, I have an interesting story to tell you. So last night, we had dinner at my parents' community. They had their 2 year anniversary dinner last night, and they went all out and had open bar and really good food and everything. And so they had some seafood. Now you all know I like seafood a lot. Now I do have an iodine allergy, um, but not to all shellfish. Like I eat shrimp and I eat clams, I eat crab, all that kind of stuff. But last night they had bacon wrapped scallops, and I really like scallops, so I had like five of them. And when I got home, after I went to bed. All of a sudden I woke up and my tongue was swollen, and my throat was all like closed up, and I was having trouble swallowing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having allergic reaction to, I think, the scallops. But I know it wasn't the shrimp because I eat shrimp all the time. So I had a total allergic reaction to these scallops that I was eating,
Oh,
and it was like 11:30 at night,
my
and I'm like,
goodness.
well, should I get Shane? I'm like, well, I can breathe, so I'm not having any trouble breathing, but I was having trouble swallowing. And I can't take Benadryl because I actually hallucinate with Benadryl. So I wound up taking, I just shot my nose up with Flonase, and that seemed to work. Either that worked or if it just went away. I don't know what, but it was a strange feeling. Yeah. Here she
Can
is.
Heather,
Yeah.
this is very strange on my end, and I don't know if anybody else hears it. Obviously, they don't. When you speak, there's an echo on your end, and I don't know if you have your speakers up too high or did
I can turn them down.
yeah,
They're
do you have do you have that thing happening or that thing on? The
um
studio audio input thing? Did you fix that?
yes. Yep, I have that.
Is
Um
oh
Let me just
gosh.
double check the settings that I
Yeah,
took.
I think the settings
Um,
are
I did have the background noise off. So I have that one checked, that one checked, that one not checked, that one not checked. Okay. So I right now I have everything that we had on yesterday. I have checked off.
That's weird. Even when I close YouTube, I
Hmm.
still hear the echo.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The echo in your headphones? Like you can hear yourself talk back, or are you
Yeah, I
just
can hear
hearing
you
me? You can
and
hear
me.
me? I'm
I'm
echoing on your
sorry,
end?
everybody. I don't know what's happening on my end. We did a test and it was fine, but
Elena says, I hear an echo and barely hear you. So, Elena, do you hear an echo when. Now, Elderly Poodle is hearing an echo now, too. So, let me click. But I did click off.
yeah, I think what how we resolved it was the studio audio input thing you had to fix.
Checked off. All right, I did. I went back and I put on background noise reduction. So, let me know how that sounds. If I'm, do I still sound muffled?
It's still not right.
Hmm. Um,
Well, not to me, but
Elena says
meaning
KP,
you don't sound
you're better.
KP is the echo, and I am now better.
And Joan says no longer muffled.
Hmm.
right. And remember how we fixed it yesterday? Okay. Say
You want me to say something? I'm working on the railroad all my little days.
the
I've been working on the railroad just to take my time away.
Sylvie said that's good now, KP.
Can you hear a whistle blowing? No echo from KP now.
all right.
I think it also might just have to warm up
But
too.
can
I
you
think
actually hear me?
I
Oh
can. No,
yeah,
yeah, we can hear you just fine. There's nothing wrong on our end.
Tex Mex says you both sound good now.
Yeah, and Teresa says sounds good to me
Okay.
now.
I think I sort of figured it out. I don't hear the echo anymore.
Oh good.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Thank you everyone for being so patient. It's very interesting. We have a studio open. I've got YouTube open. And you know what? They
Maybe you
talk
should
about the
close
lag.
YouTube.
The lag
May-
is real.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Hey, Annie. Hello, Annie
Well,
is
no,
here.
it actually works better this way.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everyone, again, and thank you
Hey
for your
Dee.
Hello,
kindness.
Dee. Good to see you.
And it's great
Welcome
seeing
in,
you all
Dee.
here.
Thank you so
And
much.
there's Dee. Hi, everybody. Hi,
Welcome
Dee.
in, Dee. Thank you for coming
All
in.
right.
Can you
You
hear
know,
me
this is
now?
like I said, this is only the fourth time we've done this. So,
Yeah, but it's different.
And
It's
every
different.
time it's the first time.
Every time it's the first time.
anyway,
Every
Exactly.
hello,
time it's the
Shane.
first time.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
I
Are you ready, KP?
I don't know how y'all make this look so easy because it is not. Anyway, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna make this one big. There we go. All right. The floor is yours, KP.
Yay.
All right. Well, I know, and this has been a long time coming with this one, and the everybody sort of has been waiting for this, and here we go. Essentially, what we're going,
I hear something on.
yeah, we're I'm sorry. I get nervous and butterflies every time we do this, and I just can't even.
Take your time, KP.
Mhm.
It's all good.
Yes.
All right, s- you can move it to the next slide if you want. I mean,
Okay.
basically, when I've titled, or how I've titled this, was Glass Formulas, a primer.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you need to move it to the next one, the next
Hold on.
slide.
Okay. Oh, I need to do that, don't I? Sorry. Oh
I
yeah.
can make it bigger or smaller.
Okay. You can make it bigger if you'd like.
Yeah, that's as big as it is.
I'm still sort of having this delay, but I'm going to try and work around it.
I think because you're listening to, I think
You
you
can
need to
hear
listen
me
to
okay, right?
one of the. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. I think what you're doing on your end because you have both tabs open. I think you need to close one of them and just work off of EV Mux and not pay
Uh,
attention to the YouTube one.
I'm trying to.
I
I'm
think
sorry. I
I
don't
think
know
that's throwing you off.
why.
Yeah.
Well, even if I close it, it here.
It's very windy everywhere. Hello, Miss Jackie.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
Hello. I'm sorry.
It's still windy. I don't know where all this wind is coming from, but
Okay. Sorry.
that's okay. Whenever you're ready, KP.
Mm-hmm.
You all can hear me, correct? And I know I
Yeah.
keep saying that over and over.
Yes, we
Yep.
can. Yeah, there's no problem hearing you.
You sound excellent, like you always do.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
Essentially, the way that I went about presenting this was you had to start somewhere. So to when you talk about the process of I'm sorry, how I just can't hold on. Forgive me, everyone. I do not understand what's happening. All I can hear is myself in feedback, and I can't make any sense of what I'm saying.
Uh,
Okay.
Can
Um, I have everything checked that I had checked last night.
I do not have YouTube open. I just have the studio open.
Hmm. So is it the same thing that was happening last night? It's
Yes,
happening
I hear
again.
myself echoing.
Hmm.
Yes.
Um, I clicked back on because it said I was muffled. Um,
I've tried
was
putting my
is
speaker
the background noise
back
reduction?
on. I have on a headset, and I can't hear you if I shut off my sound. So
Yeah. Did you just change something? Because now it sounds like you're cutting out. All right, I'm gonna keep the background noise clicked on, and they're all saying they can hear you fine. So, um,
But see, even you like you say something and then there's an echo.
I mean, I can hear a little bit after, like if everything's quiet, I can hear a little bit in your microphone.
Oh, hello.
What just happened? Oh, she went out.
Oh, maybe she's gonna go out and then come back in.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe KP is going completely out. Oh, there. Yeah, she went completely out,
And then came back in.
and she's coming back in. So maybe that'll help.
All right, well, I'm here.
Okay. Um,
You
I can hear you just
I
fine.
know it's just like I said, the feedback. I'm talking and then like 2 seconds later you hear what I'm saying.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on.
I'm
Sorry, everyone.
sorry, KP.
Talk
I don't.
talk amongst yourselves.
Hello, Karen from Canada. Welcome
Yes,
in.
thank you. Um, Lisa Aaron says sometimes I call patients and hear an echo. You have to ignore it. I know, but it's got to be hard sometimes to hear your own voice backfeeding.
It's distracting.
It definitely would be distracting. Um, yeah, because we don't have, we're just talking.
Yeah.
So, did you completely go out and come back in?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I think I figured out what's going on, and I'm not going to tell you what it was
Okay.
because I feel like an idiot.
Don't feel like
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You want to you want to you want to
Yeah, I just need your slideshow to come back up so I can add
um
it to the screen.
okay. Well, oh, all right. All right. Let me go find the thing. I think we need to just go like take 2.
there you
Take
go.
two.
Take two. There we go.
There it is. Okay.
And
All right.
action.
You, you,
And
do you want
action.
to I said I wasn't going to say, okay, sorry we're like running late. Here we go.
There we
It was
go.
such a rookie move. I can't even believe it.
It's
But
okay.
this just goes to show you that I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to stuff.
Well,
I have um, Chrome open, but then I also have like Firefox open in a, in my computer
mhm.
Okay.
and where I usually operate. I don't use Chrome. So I had pulled up your YouTube
Uh,
and it said, and I forgot to mute it. So the
uh,
echo that I was hearing was
what?
was in a totally different tab, like on a totally different platform.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So you
Got.
didn't have
Yep.
Oh
it. You
my
didn't see. Yeah.
goodness gracious.
No
Well, this
worries.
is one for the books, ain't it?
We're
Okay.
all good now.
All
Oh,
right, let's do this thing. Sorry.
Let's do it.
Anyway, all right. Glass formula is a primer. Let's chat about it, shall we?
Let's
yeah.
chat
Let's
about
chat
it.
about it.
Does it glow? And we're going to talk about why it glows. All right. Now I'm on my game. Okay.
Okay. Good.
Really sorry about that. I just, if I did this more often, I would know. All right. Essentially, as I was trying to say, is most all glass is made with basic soda lime glass. Uh, it, it it's essentially made from silica, soda, and limestone, as you can all see there. And you can hear me, right?
Yep. I can hear you.
Good, good. You can hear me. Okay. You can make us in the frame if you would like. It's okay, KP. We love you. Oh well, that's thank you, Lisa. Anyway, you can put us in the frame if you want.
There you go.
But the only way to talk about this or to chat about this, um, we have to understand this basic uh, part of it. So glass makers would use this essentially this in these quantities, as you can see. And if you'll notice the soda lime glass there that's in the frame, I use that to illustrate this because you can see it's got a green tint in it, right? In that
Yeah.
just yeah. So that is important to know because it's an impurity, and they didn't really want that in the glass. So here we go. Let's get the next slide. Now we're on a roll. Okay.
Yes, you're doing good.
Did you move the there we go. Okay. So the next step in adding color to glass is uh, pretty much I'll just kind of read this. And as I was saying to Heather earlier, this is very wordy and very much filled with science and chemistry and all of that. And there really isn't any other way to kind of present this without talking about this because this is truly the heart of it. So,
Mhm.
the way that they would color glass is by adding metal oxides, which is what you kind of see there at the bottom, and along with other chemical compounds. And they would add this to the molten soda lime glass mixture, and that would achieve specific colors when the glass had cooled. So the different elements act as pigments that absorb certain wavelengths, and that's another important thing, of light that in turn create the various colors and hues. Also, the various metals display different oxidation states. So these elements form colored compounds and ions. So a single element, and that would be like we will go over what those are, may yield multiple colors depending on the conditions. And however, coloring glass isn't always as easy as adding certain amount of a particular element or compound to the glass because there's impurities in the glass and they require a decolorizer. And that's another kind of thing to keep in mind. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well,
No, we were muted. Sorry.
very good. You scare me like you're muting, and I'm like, wait a minute, you can't hear me. Okay.
No.
Anyway,
We're good.
so hello, Jakey. Anyhow, yeah. So they had to remove the impurities out of the glass, things like iron and sulfur and so on, to get the glass, that soda lime glass, to actually be kind of clear, to get it because otherwise it's going to react and make the glass appear differently. So if you don't know what I guess if you were in middle school, your middle school science class,
Yes,
there's
that
your
wonderful table.
that's kind of what I'm talking about, the periodic table of elements, and that's
Mm,
essentially what is added to glass when they talk about uranium and all the other various things that are added to glass, which is what we're going to cover. So, yeah, if you were paying attention in middle school science class, there you go.
mm.
That's essentially what it is. So, oh yeah. All right. So the next slide here is you go from the basic soda lime glass to what color is the glass, and then the topic of kind of what we're going to explore here is different types of UV reactive glass. And there's essentially those four types. We all know uranium glass. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the chat. We all know, uranium glass. It's a broad term to describe glass containing high amounts of uranium oxide. We all know uranium oxide is radioactive and it will fluoresce. And that's another word to keep in mind because we kind of use the word glow and it's really should be fluoresce, but we all kind of just use it anyway because it's a common term. And we know that will glow or fluoresce bright green under UV light. And the next element is manganese glass. Manganese dioxide, it's one of the, and we're going to talk about that in depth because it's really important when it comes to determining what's making a certain piece of glass glow. So, manganese dioxide is one of the oldest glass additives and was used as a decolorization agent. However, it will fluoresce under a UV light. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier, was that decolorization of the soda lime glass was really important. And that's why manganese was used in pretty much every type of glass that they made. Um, Next is selenium glass, and selenium oxide is one of the main compounds used to color pink, red, and ruby glass. And it will fluoresce under a UV light depending on the amount used in the glass formula. And the last one is cadmium glass, and cadmium sulfide was used to achieve vibrant shades of yellow glass. It will fluoresce under a UV light, which we all know. You can kind of see examples in that image there on the bottom. That's pretty much what we're talking about.
Yes.
Those four those those four
And KP, when you want
elements.
me to show you the example that I have here, just let me know when you want me to do that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can do that in between or
Hmm.
at the end. But
Yeah.
going going from
Oh,
what
just real quick, KP, if there's a question, do you want to know the question or you want to wait till a certain
oh
time to
yeah,
do questions?
okay, interesting. Yes. Well, you know what? I can see that Elisa is already asking something. Hi, Marianne, all in the attic treasures. Uh, yes, you can do that if you'd like. Is Vaseline glass cadmium glass? No, it is not, but I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute because it's coming right after these slides.
Yeah.
Okay? So there you
Okay.
go. It is not. So the really important what I did was there were a few important uh, elements to talk about because they really have a huge impact on why glass glows. And if you in this last slide here, you can see they're listed in order. I've got uranium, manganese, selenium, and cadmium, right?
Hmm.
So the next topic that we're going to focus on, did it move back? There we are. There's
Yeah.
is uranium glass because everybody sort of wants to know what this is, or we kind of, it's the one that is the most prominent one. So essentially, uranium oxide has a long history with regard to glass making. For hundreds of years, glassmakers used small amounts, and I had no idea that they were using this stuff for like hundreds of years ago, small amounts of uranium to create bright yellow, green, or green glass. So the earliest known use of uranium oxide to color glass was found in Roman mosaics around 1st century AD. And everyone can hear me, right? Not just you guys, right?
Hmm.
Like people in
I think they can
they
hear
can.
you.
Okay.
They
I'm
usually say
sorry.
okay.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record with that, but hey ho. So, however, I love this because I have Austrian ancestry.
Mm.
Around 1830, Austrian glassmaker Josef Riedel is credited with inventing the first version of what we refer to as uranium glass. He began adding uranium oxide to his glass formula and named the yellow glass Anna Gelb and the yellow green glass Anna Grün after his wife. Guess what, Anna? Uh,
Mm.
so Riedel commercially produced this glass on a large scale between 1830 to around 1848 in his factory in the Austrian Empire province of Bohemia. So I had absolutely no idea that, and I don't know if anybody else did that. That's when it was pretty much that was invented, the modern version of uranium glass. So by the 1840s, other European glassworks began producing uranium glass as well because of its growing popularity. It was huge. I mean, and we're going to continue on as soon as the next slide pops up here. Yeah, never knew. I know, a poodle.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
thought it
know
was more
either.
like an I thought it was more like an American glass thing.
No, I know, and this is what was so fascinating about the research on this. So, uranium glass's popularity grew significantly during the Victorian era. That's another thing I had no idea about, but
Hmm.
that ties in with the next one we're going to talk about. And it continued to be popular during the 1900s through, of course, the Depression era, because it was inexpensive to produce and people liked it during that time. And as we now know, uranium is radioactive and it will fluoresce brightly under a UV light source. However, black lights or UV lights weren't invented until around 1935. I had no idea about that. I kind of had an idea, but you know, they weren't
Mhm.
around, people didn't know. So before that, UV lamps were only used in the medical field and were not shown on glass.
Hmm.
So essentially, yeah, I know. So essentially, people of those eras had no idea that their favorite glass glowed.
Right.
They were just unaware, and it was not made because it glowed. It was made they
Right.
used it for simply the color, and that's all it was. So this is an interesting point, is the US government or the US production of uranium glass ceased in 1942 until 1953 because the government confiscated uranium supplies during World War II, which were used for the Manhattan Project. And if you don't know what that is, I wonder, let's see if anybody in the chat knows. I'll answer that in a minute, Marianne. Does anybody know what the Manhattan Project is? I mean, I know, but what it what it is that they confiscated the uranium because the Manhattan Project was a research and development program undertaken during World War II to produce the first, there you go, Joan, the nuclear bomb, the nuclear weapon.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was, of course, led by the US in collaboration with the UK, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Uh, and it was massive. The Manhattan Project employed nearly 130,000 people at its peak and cost nearly 2 billion. Yeah, that's an
Oh.
there's Kara, yes. Anyway, that's a whole 'nother rabbit hole, the Manhattan Project that you can go down. And I'm sorry, someone asked a question. It says, "Green was all the rage in wallpapers." It was. And what did someone oh, I heard that manganese is clear awesome compound that makes it. Yes, I'm gonna talk about manganese and why that happens. Yes, that's in I love that you guys are giving me these questions because that makes me feel like I did cover what I thought you all would wanna know. So
Yeah.
so I'm gonna answer those, but I singled out uranium because and sorry for the paper moving around. I singled out uranium glass for that reason because it's hugely important, as we all kinda know. Alright, and here's the next slide. Okay. So I wanted to highlight the different types of uranium glass because there's this kind of people tend to say, well, um, let me just read it and then I'll go on. But there's different type. There isn't just one uranium glass. There's different types of uranium glass. So the first one it says uranium glass, green glass. That's the familiar depression era bright green glass that contains uranium oxide. And then someone to answer their question, they said, "Is Vaseline glass?" Can you make that big a second? Simply because I can't.
Yeah, I
I,
mean, big.
I gotta read it.
Yeah.
Um, Vaseline glass. It's that the yellow, and you can see the examples. I've lined them up. The top one is just regular depression era glass, green glass. The next one is Vaseline glass, and it's really more of that yellow or yellow green glass, and it's made with high amounts, as you can see there, from as little as 0.1% to 25% uranium oxide.
Mm.
Those are really glowy, okay? And the other glass, the other three glasses, and there's actually a couple more that use uranium, are Burmese glass is a type of art glass made with a special formula that uses uranium oxide and tincture of gold. So then
Hmm.
you've got, yeah, it's interesting when you begin to put everything into perspective and you begin to research this and put them into categories, you really realize, it helps you to sort of categorize and understand what is making it glow. Is Vaseline glass harder to find now? Um, Maybe. Yeah, it's more everybody wants it, so it's very expensive if people are looking for it. If you find like your true Vaseline glass, everybody, the price for it is high.
Yeah,
So
when we go to estate sales and we see some Vaseline glass, it's usually gone by the time we get
mhm,
there. You know, it's
right,
it's one of the first things that goes in any estate sale.
Mhm.
Trying to find it in a Goodwill, I think is impossible.
right. And I have a slide that I'm gonna cover what more in depth about Vaseline glass. So obviously, the next one would be custard glass. It's a variant of milk glass. Because and she has and Heather has a piece of that, and we will
Hmm.
shine a
Mhm.
light on it later. Uranium oxide was added, and the resulting glass fluoresces under a UV light. And then, of course, jadeite at the bottom. It's of course, the opaque or semi-opaque pale green glass. And uranium oxide was added to the mixing process, which is why some older jadeite fluoresces. And it says, some of my jadeite glows like a toxic slime. Yeah, I don't know if that's
Hmm.
Tina or Steve, but
It's
the old,
Tina.
Tina.
yeah, hi Tina. The older jadeite does. I think they quit putting it in that the reproduction stuff or whatever it is. But yeah, so there you go. And also, let me look at my notes. Yeah, like I said, there's uranium milk glass, which is kind of like custard glass, and then also occasionally they used uranium in pottery glazes. Like if you find a piece of pottery, I was looking
Hmm.
and I noticed there was a image of somebody had a swan and had shown a UV light on it, and it fluoresced, and I learned that there was actually uranium in some pottery glazes.
Yeah, I think
So
we had something that
they
did that.
I think you did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we were surprised.
they put it in everything, it seems.
Yeah,
But generally, it was to get that green or yellow-green, glass. So there's the next slide. I have a few pieces of jade out that glow. I'm just reading the chat. They needed uranium for, yeah, exactly, Tina, that they confiscated it and they used it, they needed it in World War II, so they stopped making it. Um, right, and then Joan is said the 395 and 365 are UV variances, and I'm gonna talk about that as well. You probably already know everything already, but we're just gonna roll with it.
We're just gonna keep going.
But yes, Joan. But no, people are asking good questions,
Hmm.
and I had to slip some Scotty dogs in here somewhere,
That's cute.
as Elisa says. Scotty dogs. Yeah, those, those are actually made by Mosser, and that is a true, as you can see there on the left, that's a true, uh, Vaseline glass piece, and I looked in my this is amazing information. Thank you. I looked in my Scotty Dog collector book, and I did not see that one, but these were made by, Mosser
Hmm.
Glass, which is the American company. It's not like the little candy holders that I have. It's solid on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, anyhow, Vaseline glass, this is the whole thing where people kind of get a little confused. So, you've got uranium glass and then Vaseline glass. And Vaseline glass is just a type, as we saw in the previous slide, it's just one of the many types of uranium glass. But not all uranium glass is Vaseline glass, right? So,
Mm.
Everybody, yeah, you don't call, like, well, like that piece that, like, don't call, like, green depression glowy glass or whatever, like, it's not Vaseline glass. Vaseline glass is pretty much that yellow,
Yellow.
green glass. Alright, so this is something else that I had no idea, and Poodle was saying, "Is it harder to find?" Alright, well, Vaseline glass is a type of uranium glass that with a distinctive yellow-green color. It was originally called canary glass. They didn't call it Vaseline glass when in the beginning, in the 1840s. But around 1900, dealers, I'm assuming the people that were marketing the glass, gave it the nickname Vaseline glass because it somewhat resembled petroleum jelly, and we all know
Ah,
that.
yeah.
But it was originally called canary glass,
Hmm.
like canary yellow, I
Canary,
guess.
yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
makes more sense. Yeah.
right. Exactly. So that was a nice little, kind of a moment that I learned about. I was like, "Oh, yeah, well, of course, it makes sense." So Vaseline glass was primarily made from 1840 up until just before World War II, since uranium was confiscated during the war and all production was halted. So
Hmm.
any glass that was being made that used uranium, they had to stop that because all of the stores were it was one of those mandates. So it resumed around 1959, which was quite a bit after the war,
I
and
can't see you. No, go ahead, KP. I'm
it's
sorry.
all right. Uh, and it says on to the present, they still put uranium in some glass, but not as much as they used to. So Vaseline glass itself was in its heyday during the 1880s Victorian era, which I had no idea either that it was so popular. And it continued into, of course, the 1920s. But interestingly, Vaseline glass did not sell as well during the Depression era as did the other glass colors. To
Huh.
remedy this, yeah, to remedy that, I know. Another little nugget to to remedy that issue, glass makers started adding iron oxide, and we're going to talk about that in another slide about formulas to their glass formulas. But they still included uranium oxide. Poodle, you crack me up. Uh, and that had the effect of coloring the glass a truer shade of green as opposed to a bright neon yellow green shade. And of course, Vaseline glass will fluoresce a bright green under a UV light source because of the high uranium content. As you can see, the little Scotty dogs, that one on the right is glowing like the dickens, as they say.
Yes.
That is fascinating that they darkened the yellow. I didn't know it was that old. I know, Sylvia. Um, all these little things this is what was so fun and enjoyable about researching this is that I knew some of it, and I think we all know some or maybe all, but all these little nuanced things is I had absolutely no idea. Did the uranium continue in dishes like Fiesta were during World War II? You know, I would say probably not. I don't know, and simply because they they confiscated all of it, not just with glass companies, Elisa, not just like with the glass makers. I think everybody, because everything was rationed during the war, and especially this particular uranium. They confiscated all of it to create the nuclear bombs, which
Right.
I hate to say that, and it sounds so trite or whatever. It's sort of like, yeah, but that's what happened. It's terrible. But there you go. I'm learning so much tonight. Thank you all so much. Oh, thank you, Karen. Gosh, you guys, I always feel like a little kid on a stage in elementary school reading a book report when I do these. I told you this. So all of your comments are really appreciated, and thank you because I am very nervous doing this. And I'm sorry about before. That was just a rookie move.
Oh no, it happens to
Like I
all of
said,
us. Hmm.
the one thing I didn't check, was that. Anyway, let's continue on. So
Yes.
as you can see, there's going to be kind of a little format here on how I'm doing this. And the reason I called this glass formulas a primer, because a primer, it's just like it's like a starter. It's just like a small taste of what is happening here. I mean, as with my other presentations, if I went deep diving into it, we'd be here till tomorrow. So it's just um, a beginner guide. So moving on from Vaseline glass, this first slide, and there will be many of these, we go into the elements of color. What elements were used, hold on, in creating the different colors of glass? I have a question, and I hope it's not a silly one. Right. Um, is that Annie loves to sing? Are you sisters? Where'd you go?
I'm right here. Yeah.
Annie loves to sing. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit, because that is a really controversial question, and it isn't. It is not silly at all. Um, but yeah, there's
Mm.
many thoughts about uranium and all of that in in
Yeah.
in glass and all that. And we can talk about that in a little bit. Anyhow, let's thank you for that, and we'll talk about that. But in this slide, essentially, we're going to what I wanted to illustrate was what elements and metal oxides go into the different glass colors. So for green and yellow green glass, it essentially was chromium oxide, and you can see I've used these little illustrations on the bottom so you can get an idea of what the colors were of these um, metal oxides. So chromium oxide, iron oxide, copper oxide, and of course uranium oxide were added to the basic soda lime mixture to create different shades of green or yellow green glass. Chromium oxide produced a dark green shade, and in even higher quantities they could get black glass from that. And there's other elements that went into making black glass. So iron oxide produces a greenish blue tint, and if sulfur compounds were added as well, it creates a brownish green tint. And then copper oxide combined with, I know there's lots of science here, and I'm trying not to blind you with all this stuff, as they say, but it is sciencey. So
It's all about the science of this.
it,
That's
it
what it is.
absolutely is. And that's what I really had to focus on and break it down, because you can't just say XYZ and this is what makes it glow. I wanted to really make it clear that in in the glass making process, it's pretty much all these different elements, and then you've got that basic soda lime mixture, and everything else is added on top of it, and that's how you end up with the end result. So getting back to what I was saying is that the copper oxide combined with iron oxide can create an array of distinctive green shades depending on the amount added. So you know that you see all kinds of different color shades of green. And of course, last but not least, uranium oxide was added to the mixture to produce glass with the bright yellow-green tint.
Hmm.
So not all green glass has uranium oxide in it, but if it does, then it'll glow. So essentially, I say that it's stated there, but there's other ingredients that went into glass, and particularly like green glass was borax and arsenic.
Mm.
I love science. Keep going. And we arsenic, which is kind of it's a poison, but it kind of tended to help things be green. And if and they even used to use it, and Jenny brought this up, like, green was really popular. They used to put it in all kinds of things. They put it in fabric dye.
Hmm.
Like, there's a whole
Yeah.
rabbit hole that you can go down in
Wallpaper.
what did they put arsenic in to make it green, and that's a whole 'nother thing. So,
Hmm.
yeah, they used it in glass. Anyway, um, you know, obviously, green glass will fluoresce under UV light if uranium oxide is used in the formulas. Like I said, not all green glass glows, but if it has that in it, it'll glow or should glow. All right, here in this next slide, which is going to come up here, when the next element on that list that I showed you earlier in that slide is manganese glass. And this is really worth talking about because this is a particularly important. Definitely watch Radium Girls. Oh, yeah. Oh, exactly, Briarly. I understand. If anybody doesn't know what that is, they should go check it out. It's a series called Radium Girls.
Oh.
And Briarly, where who's running that? Not to get off derail here, but uh I've heard of it and I don't know, is it a British series or is it American? I'm not sure. She'll answer us. Anyway,
Yeah.
so manganese. Let's talk about manganese because
Manganese.
it's the second biggest topic besides uranium, you know. So manganese dioxide is one of the oldest glass additives. It was used in small amounts to decolorize glass. Remember we talked about that before. Essentially to remove the green tint from soda lime glass to make it clear.
Hmm.
That soda lime glass, as we saw before, it's not clear. It's got a green tint. So this method dates to ancient Egypt. Hey ho, who knew that, right?
Hmm.
Oh, Netflix movie, right. Okay. I'm answering Briar. Essentially move the green tint from soda lime glass to make it clear, right? This method dates to ancient Egypt and prior to World War One. Now we're going back to World War One, which was 1914, and keep that in mind. Um, I got to read the line, read the sentence here again. And prior to World War One, manganese dioxide was the standard additive for making clear glass. That's what they used. So manganese dioxide imparts a purple pink tint to the glass, which being complementary to green, if anybody remembers their art classes,
Hmm.
neutralizes the green tint and permits the glass to transmit white light and or appear clear. That's how it works. It's so neat to know this. Yeah, it's science. It truly is. And I'll tell you what, quickly, the glass makers that you keep muting yourself, but that's okay. Glass makers had to be, they had to understand all of this stuff in order to make these different um,
Confusing.
colors work. I'm just checking my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. But I think you know what I'm talking about. They really had to
Hmm.
understand the color theory or whatever all of that is. All right. So, next paragraph. In higher quantities, manganese dioxide was also added to colorize glass, and depending on the amount in the composition, it gives a strong pinkish tint to the soda lime mixture. With even higher amounts, purple, amethyst, and black colors are achieved. So when you see that black, yeah, I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Yeah, it makes me wonder about um, the when you look at amethyst, black glass or amethyst, it's pretty much probably got manganese is what's pretty much probably coloring it.
Hmm.
When
That's
to
true.
get that
That's cool.
black
Yeah.
color, right? And then I mentioned in the previous thing, I think they add like another there I didn't really cover black glass because in a way it doesn't really fluoresce. It just
Mhm.
depends.
Right, it doesn't,
But
right.
but typically, it's usually a black amethyst glass, and manganese dioxide is used to create
To do that.
to pretty
Okay,
much
gotcha.
create that glass. Again, however, during World War One, manganese became scarce because it was prioritized for steel production
Mm,
as an essential component in the war effort.
mm.
Therefore, glass manufacturers turned to, and here's our next one on the line, our next glowy element on in the in the list, selenium dioxide. So, as a substitute, since it also neutralized the green tint in soda lime glass. So, everything is everything is interconnected if you think about it. When they were making glass and how it was formulated. Next slide should be coming up here. So this is why some of the EAPG glass doesn't glow. Yeah, I'll talk about that, Digger Steve. We'll talk about that. Why it glows, doesn't glow. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, kind of right here. So after World after World War One, selenium dioxide, which is the main component in selenium glass, which we talked about in the previous slide, and we'll talk about more, and other alternatives became the standard and replaced manganese dioxide as a glass decolorizer. By the 1920s, selenium dioxide was the most used colorizer, or excuse me, decolorizer. Manganese dioxide, I know that's so wordy here. I'm sorry. That's why I kind of made these slides because if you really want to go back, you can just sit and read it yourself and scroll through the
Yeah, that's true, KP.
and
That's
exactly
a good
that's kind
idea.
that's kind of why I did this because here it is. It's a one-stop shop. It'll pretty much tell you everything you kind of want to know, and you can refer back to it. So anyway,
Definitely.
yeah, so they essentially selenium dioxide replaced manganese dioxide as a colorant because they needed it to produce steel, so on and so forth. And by the 1920s, they just kind of it was the most used, and manganese dioxide was pretty much relegated to just a colorant, like making stuff purple.
Mhm.
So, and here's the interesting thing to address what Steve said. An interesting characteristic of antique clear glass, like EAPG, which usually contain manganese dioxide, is its tendency to turn different shades of purple when exposed to the UV rays of the sun or to other UV sources. So, this is what people refer to as sun purple glass. What happens to old EAPG glass when it exposed to too much sunlight, it turns purple. So it says it's essentially a photo. Great. Yeah, it says so. It's essentially a photochemical phenomenon that is not yet perfectly understood. It's generally accepted that the UV light initiates an electron exchange between the manganese and iron ions. So this changes the manganese compound into a form that causes the glass to turn purple. Photosynthesis. I'm not exactly sure. It's a photochemical phenomenon, Joan. That's what I read, and I am not a science nerd, so I'm not sure what the difference is, but that would be a good one to look up. But anyway, so what Steve was saying is that here's the fun fact: manganese glass glows green only when lit with a 365 nm, which is a nanometer light, UV light. It does not glow green when lit with a 395 nm UV light. Now you would think a 395 is the higher, like the higher amount. It's not. It works the other way. And you can kind of see in the illustration, there's natural lighting on an old piece of EAPG. And Heather, we were talking about this earlier. There
Yeah.
is a piece of EAPG with a 395 nm UV light, and it's just purple, meaning it's like it's not glowing anything.
Right.
It's just showing the light. It only will get that green glow, and it isn't even fluorescing, sort of. It sort of is, it's sort of not. It, as you can see there with the 365 NM, and we're going to talk about, yeah, we're going to talk about neodymium and all that as well, alexandrite, Sylvia, just a little bit. Uh, so there you go. There's a simple illustration, and then later, and after I'm finished here, Heather's going to she's got some examples. But you can see
Okay.
there is the confusion if you're not using the proper, we'll get into that, the proper amp of, I don't even, NM, whatever that is, nanometer of UV torch. It's not going to give you the true, what do you call it? It will not, the unfortunate thing that happens, and I won't go back to that, is people will shine that on old glass and they'll go, oh, it's got uranium in it. And it's like, well, no, old EAPG glass, which is, as I said, they stopped using it around 1914. And EAPG we know is like what, 1840s, 1860s, 1880s. I don't, it's, when did they start making it? I can't remember. I'd have to go look. But I think it was like 18 1840s or something. No, that might have been flint glass. But anyhow, that's not what we're focusing on. So the next slide here is going to illustrate, essentially, again, we're talking about elements of color and amethyst, purple glass, and blue glass. We already talked about green. So alexandrite, my birthstone. So manganese dioxide, nickel oxide, neodymium, gold chloride, and tin chloride were added in various amounts to the basic soda lime mixture to create shades of amethyst and or purple glass. Because manganese dioxide is present in this glass, is present, this glass will sometimes fluoresce under a UV light depending on the amount used. I read somewhere that high quality glass doesn't always glow green. Well, we can talk about all that, Steve, in in whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, pretty much I'll explain why glass glows green, and I kind of did, but there's a bit more about it. So, I grouped these two together, amethyst, purple glass, and blue glass, because they have similar elements. So blue glass uses mostly copper oxide, or excuse me, cobalt oxide, copper oxide, nickel oxide, and iron oxide, and they were added in various amounts to the soda lime mixture to achieve different shades of blue glass. Let's chat about Jenny. Cobalt oxide. She's those, yeah. Cobalt oxide produces a distinctive deep blue. We all know what cobalt blue glass looks like, while copper oxide produces a turquoise blue shade. Iron oxide produces a greenish blue tint, while nickel oxide can produce a blue violet shade. Trace amounts of manganese dioxide can cause blue glass to fluoresce under a UV light. So essentially, amethyst purple glass has manganese dioxide in it, as does blue glass. So it can fluoresce, and we'll get more into that later. So does it glow? I forgot to say these on these slides. Does it glow? Sometimes. I hope you guys, everyone was reading it.
Yeah,
Does
I was
does it
catching
glow? Does
that.
it glow? Sometimes, and the other ones, does it glow? Sometimes. It just depends. It isn't. It isn't really a yes or no answer. The only yes is if it's Vaseline glass and it's got tons of uranium in it, or the green uranium glass. Yes,
Mhm.
it'll glow. It will fluoresce. Other things fluoresce, but not green. All right, let me go get the next slide. I hope everyone is like following along here, and
We're
it's
following.
sort
Yeah.
of like I have a cobalt paperweight. Yeah, Sylvia, it you'll have to tell me what it glows, what shade. Anyway, the second to the last uh, UV reactive glass that was on the list here is selenium. So selenium oxide largely, as we said before, largely replaced manganese dioxide after World War I as the most reliable decolorizer for making soda lime glass appear clear. So they pretty much stuck with that. So the process of decolorization was greatly used still when they were making they had to find a way to get the glass to appear clear. So they've used selenium dioxide. And it was not only used to neutralize the green tint in soda lime glass formulas, it was also used to achieve vibrant pink and red glass. So that's where pink and red glass gets its thanks, Steve. Pink and red glass is pretty much going to have a lot of selenium oxide in it. So while selenium glass looks like regular pink or red colored glass in natural light, it will fluoresce hot pink, like a bright pink, various shades of bright pink under a 365 nm UV light if the selenium oxide content is high enough. And keep them in the back of your mind, and probably Sylvia, probably a lot of you already know, if you're going to play around with glowy glass or really get serious about it, you have to get a 365 nm UV like light torch. Otherwise, you're not going to see truly what's happening or truly what's making it glow. Thank you for everybody saying that they're enjoying this. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I
We're
appreciate it.
doing good.
I'm
Yeah.
reading
No,
the
it's
chat.
good.
All right, so here again, as you can see, I'm kind of trying to do this in a bit of a succession. What on each of the different elements and how they play into coloring glass. So selenium, now we're on to red and pink glass. So again, you've got with red glass, it's selenium oxide, copper oxide, gold chloride, and in some formulas, cadmium. And here we're going to introduce cadmium, which is going to be our next element on the list. So they were added in various amounts to the basic soda lime mixture to achieve shades of red. Copper oxide creates a deep red, while gold chloride, a ruby red shade, selenium oxide combined with cadmium sulfide. Keep that in mind. Selenium and cadmium creates a brilliant orange red known as selenium ruby. And
Mm.
yeah, and I think you're going to kind of guess what that might be. But selenium oxide will fluoresce bright pink under a UV light source, which we just learned. So again, with pink, uh, because pink is a derivative of red, we all kind of know that. Poodle. Um, selenium oxide, gold chloride, manganese. This is where in pink glass they use manganese, and in some formulas neodymium. And you can kind of see the little, as I said before, the little representations of the elements, and you can see the colors, and then you go, oh yeah, of course, that's I can see. It's like a palette. It's like it really is artistic, and it really is pretty much what we learned in art class, like
Hmm.
about colors, and it
The
doesn't
color
deviate.
wheel.
Exactly, and it doesn't deviate from that. It's just that these different elements, they learned that they created these colors that you know. All right, so the addition of neodymium creates glass that appears, and I think was it Joan that was talking about this? It's a glass that appears pink or lilac in natural light, but shifts to blue in UV light, and it's known as alexandrite or neodymium glass. It doesn't really glow; it just color shifts, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So
I've never heard of these two ones.
yeah, it uh, that'll be a fun thing to have people look up in. I believe it was probably. it was Joan or Sylvia, one of my friends in there. You're all my friends, but one of them, they were talking about alexandrite and neodymium. That's a kind of an interesting thing. It isn't glowing. It isn't doing anything. It just in natural light it'll look like this, but if you shine a UV light on it, it'll look like it's blue.
Hmm.
Anyway, as you can see. Anyway, so pink depression glass that fluoresces under a UV light source does so because of selenium oxide and or trace amounts of manganese dioxide. And I wanted to make a note about, hold on, about about this area, and I forgot to mention something about blue glass. But here's the interesting thing about people say, well, um, why do certain depression glass pinks? It could, Steve. Like I didn't go. That is another fun rabbit hole we could go down, or you can go down. But marbles are made out of glass, so anyway, there's no single glass formula for pink depression glass since it was mass produced. The exact formula varies by manufacturer, and the specific color needed for pink, as it was a difficult color to formulate consistently, as was red. I wanted to make a note that red and pink are one of the hardest glasses to formulate consistently, get the color consistent. So the intensity of the pink color depends on the amount of coloring elements used, and in some formulas, the pink glass has almost an orange hue. We've all noticed that.
Yes,
It,
yeah.
it, yeah, and it's part of the common color variations depending on the company and the time period it was made. And it's because it was so hard and inconsistent to get the pink to look the same and different additives. And then here again, they interact with each other and then whatever else they were putting in the glass. So depression glass, we all kind of know this. It was super cheap to make. In fact, they were giving it away. Most of regular depression glass, not the elegant fire polished depression glass, but they were just churning this stuff out. It was mass produced, and pink and red are hard to get right. They're hard to get the good shade of that. It's really hard to get the shades to be consistent.
Hmm.
And another interesting thing is that most uranium glass doesn't, or excuse me, most depression glass does not contain uranium. Very, very rarely does it. If it's glowing or doing whatever it's doing, it's either the selenium, as I said, selenium oxide, or the manganese. And I wanted to back up before I forget, and forgive me, simply in that blue glass, when amethyst and blue glass, I should go to my glass blower. Oh, awesome, Jenny. Yeah. So it's very rare that essentially blue uranium glass exists. It's just really, really rare. And it's less common than the green or yellow uranium glass. So in some cases, the glass itself is blue, but it will still exhibit a greenish or yellow glow under a UV light. And what's interesting is that that's kind of a weird uh, anomaly as well, because mostly what makes a blue glass glow and amethyst glass glow is the manganese dioxide. So there's all these makes me wonder if they were using each other's formulas like they use. Could be. And the thing is, Sylvia, it these formulas, that they were I say written down because they didn't have computers back then, but they had actually like recipes. These formulas were used. Everything was written down in measurements, I'm assuming, because they didn't just randomly bring up a batch of glass and throw in whatever they wanted. There, and in fact, I have the in my Fry glass book, because Fry produced glass other than what we notice as, or that we know is that kind of milky looking stuff. Um, there's handwritten glass formulas in that.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, and I didn't publish any of that because it was in a book, but yeah, they're written down and it tells the exact amounts of whatever elements and additives and whatever it is that went into their specific glass formulas. And as Sylvia said, yeah, they probably each had their own formulas, but then who knows if they weren't copying each other's formulas. That I don't know.
I would
But it
think they
but
wouldn't
that
be doing that.
it makes sense. I mean, it's sort of like what they do now. I mean, it's just one of those things that probably happen. But like I said, there's no single glass formula for pink. There's probably no single formula for any of these. It's just these are the main elements that were used to color these specific types of glass or to achieve these particular colors in glass. So let me get the next one. This is our last one as far as the four main elements that glow. Yeah, yes, the workers would change factories or start their own. Oh yeah, we even talked about that when we did the whole um let's chat about it, where some of the workers, yeah, they would leave one plant, they'd go to another, they'd, you know, s- they would probably have people like in on the inside giving other ones, information, who knows, but
Oh yeah, it's probably like, I'll give you this much money if you give me your
who
formula,
knows.
Right.
or get Billy drunk enough and see if he spills his formula.
Well, absolutely. I mean, who knows? Because it was huge industry and it was all over like the eastern part of our country. I mean, for heaven's sakes, we talk about this all the time, all the different, yes, I'll pay you more. I'm gonna, I had to prove Steve's,
Mhm.
I proved Steve's little message there. All he said was, yes, I'll pay you more to come. That's YouTube for you. Um,
Yeah.
all right. So cadmium glass, cadmium sulfide is the last, you know, UV reactive element on the list there, the previous slide. It's a chemical compound consisting of cadmium and sulfur. And when combined together results in creating a vibrant yellow or yellow. You can see the little images down there. I'm assuming you all see those and get the point of that.
Mhm.
Yes.
Um, Yellow orange color when used to pigment glass in the glass making process. Because of the presence of cadmium sulfide in the glass formula, cadmium glass will fluoresce a warm orange or orange red under a UV light source. However, depending on the glass's composition and heat treatment, it may only fluoresce, excuse me, in certain areas. Remember, you asked me about that, Heather? Why does it fluoresce here and not there? You
Right.
had something, and I said, I'm going to tell you why. And it's because the composition in the glass, as I said,
Hmm.
and it being reheated and the heat treatment, it may only fluoresce in certain areas. Or it
Oh.
may, yeah, we're going to talk a bit more about that. So cadmium sulfide was also combined with other compounds such as selenium oxide, which was our previous one, to achieve various other colors ranging from deep reds to bright orange hues. And amberina glass is an example of that combination and is considered a type of cadmium glass.
Hmm.
So this is something else I didn't really realize, that amberina is actually considered in the category of a cadmium glass. Oh yeah, something people went to galleries. Oh yeah, Infl- infiltration. Poodle exclaims. That's hilarious. True. I mean, who knows? That's a whole nother topic. But the next slide should be coming up here. So, because of what we just talked about, am- I made a special slide about amberina glass because it's really popular. Everybody loves it, and it really kind of displays what we were talking about. And you guys find a bit of that. And I think, and here is what I was going to say to Heather, I think that piece that you have that we're going to show,
Uh-huh.
is is pretty much considered amberina or cadmium
Amberina.
glass
Mhm.
because of what you showed me. And if you look at it says where it shows natural light and then 365, you can see the top is glowing red and the bottom is glowing orange. Like when you shine a torch, UV torch, on
Mhm.
amberina, that's why you're getting all those variations.
Right.
It's not only the selenium in it, it's the cadmium. And the way
Uh-huh.
that they make it and the heat, that's a whole technical process. But let me let me read this. So amberina glass was created, and I didn't know this either, by a gentleman named Joseph Locke in the late 1880s. And it was patented in 1883 by the New England Glass Company.
Mm.
Uh, the original older 1880s through 1900s amberina glass was made using an amber colored glass formula that contained gold chloride. And
Mm.
this is an interesting thing because they stopped using gold chloride in glass at some point. And I guess they just kind of replaced it with probably selenium,
Mm.
because the older red glass contained gold chloride, but I think they stopped using it at some point. All right. So anyway, to achieve the signature two-tone color, the glass was reheated. And this is what I was kind of explaining in the previous slide. During the glass making process, thus creating the gradient of colors from ruby red to yellow amber. So the New England Glass Company and its Lisa's laughing. I don't know why, but that's funny. Ever so often, I'm glancing at the chat, so sorry. So, the New England Glass Company and its successor, Libby Glass Company, which we all have heard of Libby Glass, continue to produce Amberina glass until the 1890s. So, however, other companies like Hobbs, Bruckner and Company also produced the glass under license from them, those two companies, into the 1900s, 1920s. So modern amberina, and this is another interesting thing. Modern amberina, which is like 1950s onwards, glass glass formulas use cadmium sulfide and selenium oxide, which replace the expensive gold chloride, which I mentioned, to create the red amber color shift gradient. And that's kind of what they call it, is like a color shift gradient. So the presence of cadmium is what gives amberina glass its characteristic sunset glow under a UV source. So if you look at that, if you basically look at those two illustrations, you can see the one on the right, that characteristic sunset glow that everybody knows and what they're talking about. Whoops, went a little bit too far. There we go. Ignore that. Ignore the man behind. Yeah, don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. We're looking gonna look at that slide yet. Wait, I gotta look at this one. So again, elements of color, um, going on from cadmium, which was our last of the four. So you can kind of see the pattern here. You essentially have uranium, manganese, selenium, cadmium, and those elements were Digger, Steve, you're funny. Those were primarily, you can see how they were used. So amber, orange, and yellow glass, not the yellow green glass, like yellow glass that's not uranium glass. So cadmium sulfide, selenium oxide, iron sulfide, and potassium. We just took a wicked turn. That's hilarious, Janet. Were added to the soda lime mixture to produce various shades of amber, orange, and yellow glass. The addition of manganese, there's manganese again, dioxide to some formulas may have been used to create a deeper shade of any of the aforementioned colors. Various other
Mm.
compounds were also added to the basic formula. Again, everybody had their own, because, yeah, I mean, you would have to. I didn't investigate all of that because, again, like I said, this is the primer. It isn't a deep dive. But we
Right.
do know that they used other compounds in glass. But the main ones that I'm listing are, as you can see, are the ones that did were colorants of the glass. So, due to the presence of cadmium sulfide and or selenium oxide used in making amber, orange, and yellow glass, it typically will fluoresce under a UV light, which we already talked about. So, a yellow, orange, pink, or red glow is most common. However, some amber glass may also glow green. And this is what's very interesting. And it will or it can, and it's not fluorescing, it's just got a glow if trace amounts of uranium oxide were used in that particular glass formula, which again, the anomaly. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't, but it was not common. It was just not common to use uranium oxide in amber, orange, or yellow glass. So again, and I think sometimes what happened, what I read was they because they were producing all these different colored glasses in these different glass works, sometimes it would get contaminated and stuff would get in batches. Like if uranium might get into a batch and whatever, and then that batch ends up glowing a certain way. So there is no yes or no answer to this. And again, does it glow? Sometimes. It depends on what's in it. But what the element that makes amber, orange, or yellow glass glow is usually cadmium and selenium and maybe manganese. That's so interesting about the amberina color. I always heard that Hawking was the first company to learn how to make the ruby color glass without gold. It could be. That's interesting. I haven't, where's Sylvia? Yeah, well, what I said was modern amberina, 1950s onward, that's when they stopped using gold chloride. So it wasn't the New England Glass Company or Libby. So what you said was might have been Hawking. The It was just after 1950. That's when they stopped using it. But I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know who was the first one to use it. So very good point that you made there. I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah, I would think so,
Catch up.
Karen. They definitely
Let me
had to do a
catch up.
trial and error.
Let me catch up here. What are they saying? It must have been the trial and error when they first started making glass. Well, yes and no, right? And it's a very complicated process because they all of these different elements sort of reacted with each other and other things that were in the glass. And when I prepared this, it's more about glass formulas and not so much about glass making. And that would be a whole nother topic of what goes into making the glass. You see what I mean? Like, because that's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
This is kind
exactly.
of a general overview of when you see something and why it's glowing, this is probably why. So it says the amberina and the red were different colors. Right. Amberina is usually like selenium and cadmium, and it makes kind of an orangey red color. So then it was probably easier on the kilns. Amberina is beautiful. Oh, okay. All right. I think I caught up with the chat, unless anybody else has another question. All right.
I think we're all caught up
All right.
there.
So here is the big thing. And this is why we're kind of all, what this all culminates to, um, what we're kind of talking about. So, what makes glass glow? And that term, what's funny, as I said before, is, and I wanted to read this kind of quote: glow is a broad term for any emission of light, while fluorescence is the immediate emission of light that stops as soon as the energy source is removed. And that makes a lot of sense because these we're shining one is shining an ultraviolet light on something, and then it reacts, and we're gonna talk about that. Something could glow. It's an emission of light. Do you see what I'm saying? There is a different when we just generally use that term, "Does it glow?" When actually we should say, "Does it fluoresce?" So,
Hmm.
on that note, fluorescence. What makes glass
Fluorescence.
and then I said, "What makes glass glow?" Because that's what we kind of talk about it. So, it's the glow that we see is a result of fluorescence, where specific activator elements, and those are the ones we just talked about, they absorb energy from the ultraviolet light source, the UV light, and then emit it as visible light. So that's what we're seeing. And it says only
Hmm.
glass containing uranium, manganese, selenium, and cadmium will truly fluoresce. And there is a difference. As I said, glow is one thing, fluoresce is another. We just generally say, does it glow?
Right.
So black lights emit UVA. You can look at this chart. This I found this and this is really interesting. It really helps to illustrate what's happening. So it says black lights emit UVA radiation, typically between 315 and 400 nanometers, and you can see that on the chart right there.
Right.
So this wavelength is invisible to the human eye, but is highly effective at causing certain materials to fluoresce. This
Hmm.
wavelength is very effective in activating the electrons in these compounds, in what I mentioned above, the four above, causing them to emit a vivid glow in hues ranging from cool blues to warm sunset tones. Now that I'm thinking about, yeah, so you can see that's what visible light is to the right, and just off the scale there is the UVA. Now I'm thinking about the northern lights. Yeah, I don't know how that happens, but that's a whole nother topic. But essentially, I think it really helps to look at this and think about it and understand what we're seeing. What we're seeing is the result of of the absorption of the light and then how it's transmitted out by the elements or metal oxides in the glass. And then we end up seeing it as visible light. So, next slide on that topic, and this kind of explains it a bit more. Oh yeah, no, Aurora. I know. Jenny. Quickly, I went. I was talking with someone, a friend of mine. She goes, "Oh, did you notice the northern lights?" And I'm like, "Heck no, I wasn't paying attention to any of that." And I'm not even, and I'm not even sure if I could see them here, but everybody else was talking about it. So yeah. All right. So a bit more on fluorescence here. This is my second to last slide, and then we're doing actually pretty good, even for me messing up. Um,
We're
because
good.
uh, so different, as I said, different, and this is really important, and it's going to sound like I said the same thing previously, but I didn't. Different chemical elements absorb and emit specific wavelengths as a chemical signature. Uranium absorbs in the UV wavelengths and there's a lot of re-emits them as green wavelengths of visible light. It's not, yeah. Uranium will emit green under both 395 nm and 365 nm. And I think I talked about that and I can elaborate. UV light sources. Other elements absorb and emit light differently and actually may emit different colors of visible light under each of those UV light sources. For example, manganese and cadmium, which is manganese is like purplish, or the decolorizer, and the
Hmm.
cadmium is the yellow. Cadmium is sort of like the yellow orange.
Right.
They only emit visible light colors under a 365 nm UV light, but not under a 395 nm UV light. And Heather and I, this is what we were talking about before we came on.
Right.
If you have a 395 nm UV light, it's not going to tell you what's glowing, what's making stuff glow correctly. It's going to give you an incorrect reading. And you can see in that little illustration, and I'll explain that.
Mhm.
So they only, manganese, cadmium, only emit this visible light under a 365 nm UV light. Selenium glows bright pink under 365. In the illustration, you can see UV light, and purple under 395 UV light. So in the illustration, and this is, it's not very, I can't really make it much bigger than that. What you see is pink depression glass on the left. It's just an example of low selenium content depression glass. The 395 is the same plate, and that's, basically it's lit up with a 395 UV light, which you think because the number's higher that it's the stronger one, and it's like, no, it's not 365.
Right, right.
So it's basically just kind of showing purple, which is kind of nothing, and there's a teeny tiny bit of a green glow
Hmm.
in there, and they call that a manganese inclusion. And this goes
Wow.
back to what I was saying about manganese will, under a certain strength of light, glow green. It's not fluorescing, it's just glowing. So
Hmm.
you can see the same plate, looks like a grill plate, under a 365 nm light, it's glowing properly. It's selenium, and as I said, where it's glowing pink, or can glow from a hot pink to various shades of pink, and then it's got that green inclusion.
Right.
So, in conclusion, the best practices and best type of UV black light torch to use is one that is coded 365 nm, and it will give you the most accurate results when determining what element is causing your glass to fluoresce. So, one more slide and then we can show. So, essentially, I think everybody understands where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Another, let me get this last slide. It's incredibly interesting, and also it was kind of it was kind of difficult to condense this down into something that was understandable, because
Hmm.
it truly is all about the elements added to the glass, the science behind it, also the way that they would heat the glass, and then just all kinds of factors. But this one last slide I wanted to add. I'm just reading the chat. Bottle people need to watch this. Oh, well, that's a cool idea, Steve. Anyway, this last slide it's really important. It's called anomalies and additives, and what I mean by that is that it's out of the norm. It doesn't fall into any categories of any of the four elements that I talked about earlier. So there's this interesting thing. It's called boron nitrite, and it's a mold releasing agent that was sometimes used to help glass slide out of the mold without damage. It can be fused into the glass and or on the surface of the glass. And
Yeah, this is interesting.
it
That
really is, yeah. And if
yeah.
you've not heard of this, yeah, this boron nitrite, it's kind of crazy. So it's often found in cadmium, amberina, or ruby glass, and it causes the glass to fluoresce, glow, whatever, a yellow green under a UV light. Now, this boron nitrite additive, it essentially glows the same in both 395 nm and 365 nm UV light. So it reacts to both. Um, Typically, cadmium glass fluoresces yellow orange, but only under a 365 nm UV light. So, in conclusion, this weird anomaly.
Yeah, and we do have example of that, KP, if you want to.
Yes, do you? Should have told you, but I didn't. This was the little aha thing. If you've got it, find it. Yeah. This weird anomaly can cause confusion when trying to identify What is making the glass glow? Because as you can see, those are little, votive candly things that are upside down, hobnailed. They're probably, more modern, like, not they're like vintage, not old, really old. You know what those are. You just turn
Yeah.
them upside down and you've sold those before. So,
Yeah,
and you
we
probably
sold
have that.
it.
So,
Yeah.
there you go. That's that
Yeah.
interesting thing where you can see cadmium glass, that's the way it's supposed to glow, that yellowy orange. But if it's coated with this stuff, it'll look like that green. And people will go, "Oh, it must have like," yes, yeah, poodle, like the '60s. "It must have like uranium in it or something." That's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have that at all. So that can throw everything off.
Yeah.
And then just a couple more things. What's interesting is, as we all know, like lead, they used lead in these glass, in glass making, which is kind of toxic, and they don't really put it in there anymore. But because the lead and cadmium can kind of leach from glassware, but lead would have a faint kind of icy glow. That might be why some lead, like lead crystal glass, has kind of a blue tint to it. I'm not even sure. And then I think I mentioned that arsenic was used. I did.
Yeah.
And the reason they used it, it was not only it was pretty much for bubble reduction in the glass. So
Oh.
they called it a fining agent, and what that means is like a refining agent, and it reduced the bubbles that formed during melting. So that's why it was also used, not really, not, I mean, as a colorant somewhat, but not as much. But hey ho, there you go. I think I'm done with that. Wow, wipe the wipe the perspiration off my brow. Anyhow,
You did good, KP.
oh gosh.
Digger Steve,
Okay,
yes, you
okay,
can
all
share
right.
it if you like.
What?
Digger C was asking if okay to share
Oh,
this. Yeah.
share it with whoever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sisters channel. I just do this with them. Uh, and it's the link is there, and it's make
Yeah,
sure
just
they all
need to
but make
share it.
sure they all subscribe to the
Yeah.
sisters. If you're gonna watch it, you gotta subscribe. So,
Yes.
oh, there we are. Okay. Yay. All right. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to read the if anybody hasn't I always told my kids, and now I tell my grandkids, what did she say? Hold on.
Science is everything.
It is. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yay, KP, this is great. I know. Thank you, everybody.
Do
So,
the hype as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
oh, whatever they and now I'm here. When it's over, hype it. Yep. You
Yeah.
know what? I think that must only be on your phone or something, because I don't see it in YouTube. I don't find a
Mm.
button for that.
Yeah, it's on the
It's
phones.
on the
Okay.
phone.
It's on the YouTube app on the phone.
Thank you, Briar. Thank you, everybody. So
Well, all
so go
right.
ahead. You've got some things that we can kind of do a practical demonstration with. Oh,
Yes.
do you have one of those? Because I was telling Heather, I'm not going to include a bunch of pictures and all that. You guys can go look at them. You know how
Yeah.
to find that.
Yes.
But essentially, not all glass glows, and if
Hmm.
it does glow, it's because of those elements, those 4 elements, or weird anomalies, or
Right.
it's just in the formula. And not all uranium glass is the only isn't yeah. People just tend to get confused about, if it glows green, it must have uranium in it,
Hmm.
and that's not absolutely
No,
always the
true now.
case.
Yeah,
So, all right. Oh, you do have one of those, so let's see it.
I do. Yes. So we'll start with this one and have Shane get the lights. Shane is going to be the light person. We'll turn on and off the lights. So this is that mold thingy.
Boron
So
nitrite.
yeah. So that was red. If you didn't see that
Yeah.
before, see it's a red Voda holder, and it has a pattern in it. So that's red, right? When you
Right?
turn the lights off and shine your thing on it, oh, it's not going to
Oh,
show up.
I saw an example of that one.
It's not showing up.
It's not showing up. Now see now that's
Oh, I hate
stupid.
that because it's like it's
Well,
yellowy.
did it show up before? And I can explain why. Well, no, I
Well,
can't explain
it's
why.
show like
Because
I'm
it should
looking
if it had the boron nitride in it, it should show up under a 365 or a 395 nm, whatever your light is, and we haven't determined what your UV light is.
No, it's
So,
showing up. It's just not showing up on.
it's showing up, but it's just
let
not
me
showing
see.
up on the screen.
Let me
Yeah.
see what it again. Oh, wait, I just saw it. Oh, I
Mhm.
just kinda did. Though you held it there for a moment in a certain way, and I saw oh, if you look at the side, everybody, like, look at can you see just the edge of it?
Oh, there you go.
No.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, there it is. Oh, oh, perfect. There, now hold it there. Do you see what's happening?
Hold still.
But hold it still, Heather. But you do see that, everyone, right?
Yeah.
I
That's
hope they can
exactly
see
what we
it.
were
Yeah.
talking about. It's that boron nitrite. Everybody's like, "Yes."
Yes, they
Yeah,
see
you
it
can
now. Yeah.
yes, you can see the green and the orange and, uh, weird it's just all kinds of strange.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
cadmium glass, if that was just cadmium without that boron nitride mold release in it,
Hmm.
it wouldn't look like that. Yay!
Yes.
You made it
Yeah.
do it. Yes, that's it. It's funny, I didn't think about that because people who take these photos, they just it's set on a table and they take a photo and you know what I'm saying? You're kind of
Right.
trying to hold it and turn it, so
All right. So
yeah.
what should I show next?
Oh, just pick one.
Okay.
Pick any
Um. So this is so we'll go with the red. So this is your ruby red Fenton hobnail.
such a
So
beautiful
you can
piece.
see it's red. So oh, some of this is two items of these are my personal items, and I'll tell you what those are. So far, this is our inventory, and this is our inventory. So Shane's going to hit the light, and I'm going to show you. Hopefully, you can see
A
that.
nice poodle.
So this is actually turning orange at the very top.
Mm, yep. It's kind of that red-orange glow, orange-red glow. Yep, there it is. We talked about that. And then but you gotta hold the top. Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not that.
Right, so that is very
Then
much
yeah, so then the bottom. This is hard because it's so close to sharing my piece glass without. Yeah. Let's see if I can go closer. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not
well, but
going.
make yourself big. I don't need to
Do
be big.
something.
That's a good idea,
Get
Kate.
get get rid of me and
Okay.
make yourself big. I don't need to be over there.
Okay, so there you can see. So in the top, the very top of the ruffle is orange, and then this part right here is red, and then it's really
The
hard.
bottom, though. You can get the
Yeah, so
bottom.
hold
There.
So the
yeah,
bottom
There you go.
is orange.
right. So what do we think that actually is? Because it's pretty simple.
and
Silly.
Well well,
what is it?
it's
Who anyone in the chat want to answer?
it's probably what they call it's probably amberina.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
a form of
Amberina.
amberina. It's the cadmium and the selenium
Hmm.
and the way that it was formulated, that gradients glow because the bottom is orangish red and the top is or the bottom is really like orangey red and then the top is
Hmm.
like a ruby
Yeah,
red
but
or
there is
it's different.
there's a thin line
Right. Like yeah,
there
there
right there.
the glass has probably both, like I said, selenium and cadmium in it. Yeah, that's got orange and red, and typically, I think it's what is we can basically call it like an amberina because
Yeah,
cadmium glass,
yeah. I
amberine
would
is a
say this
form
is
of cadmium
Amberina.
glass, right? And the way, if you remember what what I just said, is it, when you're done, when everybody's done, go scroll back.
It's like a test.
Now
Even
we're
though,
now we're giving you the
right?
quiz.
Yeah, and because I believe I I showed you the, image of the Amberina glass, and it didn't do anything under just a regular light.
Right.
But when the UV light was on it, you saw that gradient and rainbow kind of what they call that gradient sunset glow.
Hmm.
So
Right.
I would say it is okay to call that Amberina. It's
Amberina.
not
Yeah.
because not all Amberina looks like it. You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
Yes.
probably both. Yeah, well, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Because
Okay. Now
and it
this
and that
next one. This next one. This is your EAPG. You know.
let me answer, Sylvia.
Yeah.
Do you think the different thicknesses of the glass would make a difference? No. I think it's what I said. I don't know that, but I think it's what it said, is because they heated it and then they reheated it.
Heated and
It's the
reheated. Yeah.
process that they use to get um, that kind of formula to react that way. They
Hmm.
deliberately made Amberina glass.
Right. By reheating it.
Yeah, and exactly, and it does contain both of those elements in it. So I don't
Hmm.
think it has because the glass formulas are made and they're poured into a mold,
Yeah.
and
So
then they come out. So
the formula. Yeah. The
the
formulas are
thickness
made first.
yeah, there's a formula, and then they pour it into the mold so that they don't have different glass thicknesses within the mold on that type of thing, because that stuff was pressed and mass produced. I just keep thinking about Rudolph's nose. Dennis, that is hilarious, but I'm not even sure what that who knows? Do you think Rudolph's nose is like what? Like, is it selenium? I don't
It's
know.
cadmium.
Is it cadmium, selenium? Who knows?
It's
Oh, goodness.
Amberina.
Yeah, maybe it's amberine. Anyhow, if it's glass, if his nose is glass, maybe we can guess, but I don't think it is.
Right.
Anyhow, I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right. So this is your EAPG, Jacob's ladder. Let's see what this does. I'm trying to hold it.
And remember, you kinda have to get this one angled just right. I think
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
think
get
it's
this
way
angled.
down in the stem. Now, if you notice, it's not doing anything purple-wise. I mean, but look at the stem, the base, that weird can you and you're looking at that, and, like, I can see there's a slight green glow. There it is. Obviously,
Very
that
slight.
that's the manganese doing that. That's the decolorizer that they used in the glass because we know the age of this, and that's when they use this to decolorize glass. That's not
Hmm.
uranium because it doesn't even glow like uranium glows, but
No, it doesn't glow like
when people
uranium.
shine yeah, and they go, "Oh, what's that?" We've all said that before too when we've shown this because the UV light itself is purple.
Right.
So that's
Right.
why most of it
That's
looks
why it's
purpley,
yeah.
Mhm.
but I think everybody could see it. Yeah, Elisa says, "Oh, I see that." Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's very faint on the
and it
Mhm.
would be because they only pretty much use that to and it's bit on the bottom, yeah. They only use that pretty much to decolorize the glass,
right
meaning
there you can see it.
to
On the
counteract
skin part.
the green tint that was in the soda
Hmm.
lime glass.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And interestingly, like I said, when manganese reacts to the UV light, only a 365 light, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
So yay!
Okay, so here's another example of. So this is blue,
Yes,
EAPG.
both.
Let's see what this one does.
Yeah, this is a bit of an interesting thing because it's colored.
Ooh, it's
It
green.
is right. Again, it's not uranium in there, it's the manganese.
It's the manganese.
Because
It's the mayonnaise.
It's the
you go
mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. If you go back, if you recall what I said about blue glass, purple amethyst, purple, and blue glass all contains bits of manganese to color it, to get the color. But also, that's a decolorizer, but they being the age of that or what they that They didn't put uranium typically in that glass. Very interesting though. And you can tell the difference. And
Yeah,
you can when Heather, she has a piece of, like, true uranium glass, you can
yeah,
see the
that's
difference.
coming up.
If you compare it to that, that's just a what kind of a glow, a faint kind of a ghostly glow,
Yeah.
is what it's emitting.
Now this one's interesting. This is my personal collection. This one's not for sale. So when you hold this up to the regular light, it has
The Ring of Fire.
the ring of fire in the opalescent. So there you can see the opalescent blue glass all around here, and that has an amazing ring of fire, which I don't think you're going to be able to see. You're not holding up to the light yet. But when I turn the light off,
Yeah, this is very interesting as well.
so it is green
Again,
on the
it's
bottom,
it's that glow in there, which is, again, most likely manganese.
the manganese. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can sort of see it right above the foot
Yeah,
there.
it because it's very faint, and it's not that bright green.
No, it's not.
Again again, it's part of the colorant in that's like a turquoisey blue glass, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
And this one
y
has
when you like, when you're mixing colors, like, if you mix pink and what is it? How do you get blue glass to be turquoisey?
had green.
Is there green involved with it? Yeah.
Hmm. So when I have this in my cabinet, with the light shine on it, I can actually see the ring of fire. Just
Yeah,
with
that's a
the,
whole other thing. Yeah, that is
yeah,
a whole other
definitely different.
phenomenon, new nail polish names that happens. So, yeah, essentially as I said, uranium oxide and manganese, what is it, dioxide, they get confused all the time. People,
Hmm.
they're not yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So
I
then
think
this
I think
one,
everybody sort of understands that by now.
yes, I think so. So this is custard. So this is custard
Right.
glass.
Now that does have uranium in it,
So we're gonna see.
as we know. I think you will be able to see the difference. There you go. You can see the difference in that fluorescence,
Hmm.
and I don't mean
Compared
to
to the other
emphasize that,
green.
but it really fluoresces.
Yeah.
Right. So there you go. And Heather, going off of all of this, you probably do have a 365 NM light because we're seeing all the things we're supposed to be seeing.
Hmm.
So yeah, there you go. And
And then
that
this is
definitely
one more example. So last
that looks
example.
like the Burmese.
So this is
Yes,
just like
exactly, Sylvia. Right.
this is our personal my personal collection. Um, so this just is just green glass.
Well, yep.
Get your sunglasses on.
Yeah, this is a real proof of as I say, the proof in the pudding of
Yeah.
there you go. That's definitely has uranium in it.
You could
It's
probably
definitely
power. You could probably run a power plant on that one.
right. Yeah. There you
And
go.
just for because Digger, Steve, and Tina are here,
Oh yeah, right, right.
I have my
Oh,
marbles.
bye,
And
Dennis. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good
We
night,
appreciate
Dennis.
good
it.
night, Dennis.
Thanks for letting us borrow your girl. Sorry. Well,
That's funny, Casey. So then so these are the marbles.
right. Yeah, and this is the whole thing, like, again, obviously, that's like a flower frog. Whoops. And
Yeah,
it's just purple because it's clear.
right.
Mhm.
But there you
And
have some orange. You have some orange ones. You have some glowy ones. You have some purple.
right. Well,
And then
that
if the frog itself is doesn't
that
glow.
that green one, I don't know, it could have uranium in it. I am I mean, they're glass, they're made out of glass, but I completely don't really know anything about marbles other than,
I
you
lost
know,
mine.
other than I actually do have a bag of marbles in case I do lose mine
Yeah,
from Tina and Steve. So,
there you go. Yeah,
yeah, they do glow very nicely
they
and
do glow.
probably because of the same reasons, because if you think
Mhm.
about it logically, they're made out of glass and they're made in a mold.
Mhm.
So, they
Right.
probably use the same or similar formulas, and
Yeah.
that's the interesting thing about glass making and glass formulas is they pretty
Mhm.
much used exactly what I was saying with the addition of other stuff, but that's how they got all the colors. I mean,
Marbles could be the next
it's
test.
not like they had, like, Rit dye or food coloring, you know,
Yeah, because like
because
this one is purple and blue,
The teal.
or like a teal. And then when I do the black light on it,
oh, nice.
it glows green, like a bright uranium green.
Hmm,
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Aw, thank you, Poodle. You're so
Well
welcome.
well, that would be something kind of fun and interesting for Steve and Tina,
yes,
if they're still here,
to,
if
to go from.
for them to, like, look into,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
definitely.
I don't
Do chat about it.
I'm assuming marbles could be the next chat. Yeah, I don't know I really don't know anything about them. What's
Yeah,
interesting is that Steve finds them all the time, like, he
Mhm.
digs I
he
can't
digs them
believe
all up.
how what did people just throw them like, bury them, throw them out? I don't know. Put
I
them
don't
down
know.
the privy or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know.
What does he get? There's something stuck in his throat.
Anyway, thank you, Sylvia. I
Yeah.
appreciate everyone being
Well,
here.
thank you everyone for thank
I'm
you guys so much for coming in tonight. Sorry, I'm making like a lot of noise all of a sudden.
I hope
I'm
it was
playing with my marbles.
I hope it was somewhat enjoyable. This has kind of been a long time coming with this one, and it
Yeah.
took a bit of it took a lot of study in getting it all
Yes, you did
together.
a fantastic job, KP.
Yes,
Round of
you
Oh,
applause
did.
for
thank
Yes.
you.
KP.
Thank you
Round of
so much.
applause.
Rebecca. Oh, thank you. Um, this without you. So,
Mhm.
yeah, and like you said, you got a couple pieces that you've got.
Yeah, definitely please share if you guys would like to. Definitely
Yeah,
please share.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just great information all around. Definitely, it might be good to go back and reread some of the information
Mhm.
because there is a lot of information that is in what thrown at you. Well, thank you, Lisa Ann,
Yeah.
that is
well,
totally worth
yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
Appreciate
I tried to make it as digestible as possible. It is a lot of information, but there really isn't any other way to talk about this or chat about it. So what'll be fun is when, going forward, like in your sales and all of that,
that. Hmm.
and also when you're researching things and looking at things, you kind of have a better idea of what's in it. It's
Mhm.
just that it's so funny how people and quickly before we go, just they're so curious about what is in it, what makes it
Right,
glow,
right.
Mhm.
and uranium, there's uranium glass collectors out there that just have, cabinets and cases full
Oh
of
yeah.
this and
Mhm.
other glass, and especially like uranium glass, just for an example, that little uranium glass Scotty dog, that Moser, excuse
Hmm.
me,
Mhm.
Moss Mosser. Even
Master.
I'm getting them confused, the American company Mosser. They go for o over $100. That little Scotty dog. Every
Just because it's closed.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, somebody was saying, are they still, Is it collectible? Is it hard to find? All of that? Yeah. Is it dangerous?
Mhm.
Oh, is it is it dangerous to keep light on uranium pieces? I don't I don't think
I don't
so,
think
Heidi.
so.
What I think wrecks it is if it's EAPG because of the manganese, if you stick it in the window or put it in a case and shine a UV light on it, it's gonna turn purple.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing with and I think, all of our reseller friends have shown pieces. I don't know, I think Mr. OCS recently, he had a piece and he says, "Well, most people would consider this damaged." He had a piece of EAPG and it had started to turn purple. And that's exactly what happens is that,
Mhm.
um, and it doesn't just, I don't think it's just the sun's UVA rays that can damage it. I think if people are putting them in with their under a black light in
Yeah.
on
It could
display,
be, yeah.
it'll start to turn purple. So
Yeah.
is it's
You
not, yeah.
it's
The
UV.
thing, and somebody asked before quickly, is uranium, they were talking about, is uranium dangerous and all that business. The there's differing views on that. I've asked that question myself. Yes, uranium is radioactive, and the amounts in depression glass can vary. I use mine, and I don't feel like I'm gonna get any kind of radiation.
Right.
Other people feel that you shouldn't be using it, that it's dangerous, but like I said, there's differing opinions about whether or
Mhm.
not it's safe to use or not. The
Mhm.
thing is also cadmium, like in Amberina stuff that's in Amberina, um, they also say that it probably shouldn't be used for, to eat out of or, or drink from or something like that.
Mhm. Right.
So, but and then they also they stopped kind of using that stuff. They not not so much that, but like things like they stopped putting lead in glass and they started to use things like zinc and titanium.
Mhm.
I think modern glass makers, they try not to use these toxic um elements. But I really up here in Page State, yeah. I really don't want to say yes or no on it. That's up to
No,
you.
'cause
That's
yeah,
up to you.
it's a
I
personal
mean,
preference,
do
and
do
we can't
you
say yes or
right,
no.
and do your own research and all
Yeah.
of that, but,
Mhm.
I think most people collect it because they just like that it
Like
glows,
to look at, yeah.
and I just like pink and green depression glass, and I don't care if it glows or not, so,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, don't store liquids in it. Yeah, you guys all know this.
Yeah.
You all know I'm reading it, it's like, anyway.
And as far
Alright,
as the glass turning purple too, some people actually like it that way
I
as
like it
well.
because I like purple.
Yeah.
So
right.
if you
No,
like purple
It all
glass,
depends on it all depends on your preference. It doesn't, that's
absolutely. I
yeah.
don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I
Mm-mm.
think that it's beautiful, and you're right. I saw a lot of instances when I was researching this where people collect it. They want the sun purple glass,
Yeah.
or
mhm,
they line it up on a windowsill and
yeah,
watch it turn purple.
I
So,
Right.
would do it.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and there's so much, I
Yeah, I think we have that.
probably gonna get, like, washed in the comments about it, but there's so much EAPG out there, and if you buy it and it's yours, you could do whatever you want with it. You can
Yeah,
let it turn sun
exactly.
purple or not.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's yours to do what you want with,
Mhm.
um, and I don't I don't have anything to say negative or positive about that. It's like, do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Exactly.
yours.
Exactly.
Yeah. We can anyhow, I think we're pretty much done
Yeah,
unless
I think
maybe
so.
you
I think we
it's
answered
getting
all the
late.
questions, and
Hmm.
yeah, definitely go back and rewatch it, guys. If you have any more questions, I think you might be able to find the answers right back in the show there. So
Hmm.
thank you so much,
Oh my
KP, for
oh,
having the time
I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat.
and all
Thank you, and you're
Hmm.
welcome, and you know how much
doing
I
all the research
enjoy
too.
doing this. It it keeps my brain, my brain, working.
Well,
for
that's
sure.
good. We all need that, right?
Yes. Yes.
We all got to keep our
And
brain going.
All need that for mental health purposes.
Yes.
uh, exactly. So you guys are gonna have your Tuesday sale, but it won't be on your channel.
Hmm.
It
Right.
will be over on
It's on
Tammy's
vintage. Yeah, it's on
channel,
Tammy's Vintage Uprising, Texas. So
Hmm.
yeah, so guys,
and it'll be the 3 of you. I just wanted people to know that, like, don't don't look for you here on
right.
Tuesday. Look for
Yeah.
you over there.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, on
Um,
Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern. It's gonna be a
Hmm.
little bit later, 7 o'clock Eastern. We will be on Vintage Uprising Texas's channel, Tammy's channel, with the Thrill of Thrift for a Friends Myth. Friends
oh,
Friendsmith.
right. Yeah, like a Friends
the
Christmas.
Christmas for
Friendsmith.
Friends Myths. Friends
Friendsmith.
Myths
Yeah, I don't have
holiday
it pulled
sale.
up, so maybe Shane is finding it or whatever, I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't have that window open.
Let me see. Find it.
But yeah, so
Thanks, Heidi.
definitely we'll be
Appreciate it.
there. Yes, thank you, Heidi. We'll be there on Tuesday. That's the 18th. The 18th. That would be our.
Right.
Yeah. Does she
Yep.
have the thumbnail up for it?
I
Mhm.
think I saw something, come through
If you
on
like to share,
somewhere.
Oh, I gotta go to the channel. I'm not in the channel.
you're not in the channel.
Oh, I was in the channel.
Yeah, thank you everybody, in the chat.
Mhm.
This is so much fun, when you all join us. Otherwise, I'd be talking to the air or just the sisters, whom
Going
I
to live.
which is not so bad, but it's just
Mhm.
forgive me. I
There it
just
is.
feel so awkward
Shane's
doing
got it.
things.
She's gonna put it in the. She's gonna share it in the link there.
Is it this
Oh,
one?
Calling all you ho ho hos
and Heather, if or when we do this again, would you please remind me to make sure I don't have
to
2
close your
YouTubes
YouTube.
open?
Yes,
It's like, rookie move.
yes,
It's like,
that's
"Oh my
okay.
goodness." And, of course, I didn't hear it before because we weren't live. When we were
Right,
in the studio,
exactly.
it's like, I didn't hear it then.
She's gonna.
I don't know. I went out of it and now I can't. There we go.
Oh, well,
Oh my gosh, that's an old one.
I don't know what's going on here.
Shane's tired.
what are you trying to find?
Go in the live.
I keep hitting live and it's not working. Just give me a second. There we go. Now I got it. Here we go. Okay. Hold on a second.
Talk about rookie move.
Oh my goodness. Well, usually it comes up. I usually have
Yeah,
two screens come up
I'm
and
Thank you,
watching.
Marianne.
it's not happening.
What are you trying to look for, dear?
I
The
got
She's got it
what
now.
link? Oh, you got it.
as
Okay.
long as it's the
There.
Because
right link.
because I have in order for me to
Here,
participate in
here,
this, I have to be there it is. I
there.
have
Yeah.
to be in Chrome, and I
Oh, okay.
usually don't use Chrome. That's why I use, like, Firefox, and it was open.
Mm,
That's where
Okay.
my tabs are. That's where
Shane
my
looks cold.
report.
I'm cold.
Oh, are
I
you? You're
am
all
cold.
wrapped up.
Yes.
Oh
Mm.
my gosh.
Oh, Marianne, yes, I I gotta write to you. Yeah, I think I received an item that she had in her sale.
Oh,
That
nice.
is good.
Oh.
Okay. And Marion,
I'm
I do
sorry.
apologize. Shane said that you asked her if I was mad at you. I am not mad at anyone.
No.
Um, my weekends have just gotten a little bit busy with some
Bye
person
for
with
now,
some
Briar. Thanks for coming in.
yeah.
Sorry.
My weekends have just shifted a little bit where I'm spending my time elsewhere, which is it's a very good thing. It's a good thing where I am on weekends. So if you don't see me in the chat, it's just because um, I try to say
I don't know.
my personal life has changed a little bit. So that's where I am on the weekend. So if you don't see me in the chat, it's not because I'm mad at anyone. I'm having, um,
She has a personal life.
I have a personal life. I have a
Yeah,
personal life right
no
now.
worries.
So,
Yeah,
that's, I know I'm turning red. I'm sorry.
you just got things to do. You got
I have,
places to be and things
yeah.
to do.
So anyway,
Here,
I just want to put that, I just want to put that out there that I'm not dissing anyone. I'm just, things have changed in my personal life for the awesomeness, if I can say awesomeness. So that's what I'm saying.
Not you. So it wasn't just you. It was just you, my
I'm
son.
reading the chat. This you guys
Um,
are hilarious.
Yeah.
so I have something also going on in my life
Oh,
new.
yes. I thought we,
um,
go ahead.
I put a
Yes.
link in. I'm actually starting a new channel.
Oh, right. Is that what you
Yes.
put in there?
Yeah, so that's the link. So it's taking me forever because there's nothing on the channel, so it's really there's nothing there. You can subscribe to it, but there's nothing there.
Oh,
But I
well, let me
will be
see.
starting to put some stuff on this weekend. So
Well,
it's
I
called
just
yeah.
subscribed.
Oh,
Everybody, get over there. Click that
Yeah,
link.
there was a
Get over
subscribe
there.
to Shane. This is Shane's new
It's
channel. It's
called
completely Shane's
Revive
channel.
Revive
Revive
It
It Life.
Life.
Revive
Revive
It
It
Life.
Life. Yeah.
Yep.
So it will be,
Awesome.
it'll be clothing, it'll be gardening, it'll be some food stuff, some thrifting, some decorating, like all that stuff, I like to do as well.
Yes.
So
I
that's
think
where
it's awesome.
it's gonna like evolve.
I
So
think it's
just,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and keep posting stuff on a regular basis. That's my plan.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Did you also create a new Instagram for that? Somehow
I
that
believe I did,
came
yes.
across my
Came
Instagram
across it.
feed, and I think I followed you. Well, how that stuff pops up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. So I just created them both. I don't think I have a Facebook page. Maybe I don't think I do. But um, well, thank you. I have now 9 subscribers. Thank you all
I
so
Yay!
know,
much.
see? We'll
Yay!
get you up there. We'll get
Yeah.
you to we'll get you to, like, 50 or 100. I'm just kidding. You gotta start somewhere, right?
You gotta start
But
somewhere.
Yes.
Exactly.
Remember we started with 50
Yeah, I know.
back
yeah,
in.
We were excited when we got 10 people. We're like, yeah,
I
we got 10
I know. I was
people. We
just
got 50.
saying
We got
that
100.
to Heather the
Yeah.
other day.
So
You're coming
Oh,
up on your
thank you so much.
3rd anniversary in January,
yeah,
right?
January is kind of like January, February is like our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've,
Just 3 years, it
achieved
seems like it's been a while.
Or is
over
it 4?
It might be more 4.
1,200.
I'm not sure.
What?
Tex Mex will know. How
Text, yeah.
many years have we been
How
on this
many
Tex
how many years text knows? She's been with us since her and Lisa
Well, yeah, I think it
Lisa,
was
uh,
at the end of January of 20 it was the end of January 3 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
it was 2023, and in 2026, it'll be 3 years.
Yeah.
'Cause I think I
Yeah.
went back and looked, because I
It
was like, "How
probably
long
is
have you
3
guys
years.
been on
yeah,
there?"
it's 3 years.
Yeah,
I think
3
it's
years.
yeah,
Thank you guys all so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it.
yes.
What are you
Yeah.
up to now?
I'm super excited too.
She's
Oh, I don't know. I have to refresh.
let's see. Where you at? 12. You're up to
Oh,
12.
We're at
wow.
12.
Yeah. So I guess the other thing I will also share is I'm doing this because I have more time on my hands. So I am not working right now. Um, yeah. I don't know how else to put it, but I'm not back at the school this year.
She's working, but she's just working with this.
I'm working. Yes, I'm working on doing this full time.
Yeah.
And taking care of my parents as well because they've needed help with their doctor's appointments and things like that. So I have just been getting the family going here, and then slowly getting this all going. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah.
Yes. So, oh, thank you, Kate.
Yeah.
Again.
Jenny asked. Yeah, she said, "I need the link," so I popped
Yeah.
it back
Thank
in
you.
there. Yeah, Shane, we wish you well. I mean, I think it's all good. You just have to, make lemonade when life gives you lemons to make it
Hey,
out of,
exactly.
right?
Yes. When life throws you a curveball,
Well,
you have
right.
to
Just put on your catcher's mitt and catch
yeah.
it, right? And
That's
Or I
right.
should say, when God throws a curveball,
right.
you have to
Hey,
just
you
go with
know,
it and see where He takes you. And
Oh yes, it's
exactly.
February 2023.
Yeah.
Oh, it was February. Okay, I was thinking, thank you, Tex-Mex.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was thinking it was the end of January. Yeah, yep, there you go.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
know, so much fun. Well, I
Yeah.
hope, I hope we can do another one of these. We just have to
Oh
figure
yeah.
out what we're gonna chat about.
What the next one will be
So,
We're
about.
gonna chat
you
about
know
next
Yes.
oh,
time.
and
Mhm.
also yeah, maybe if Heather has a minute, she can put all of these in a, playlist. So anybody that's, like,
Yes,
Oh,
I
that's
new,
a
can
good
do that.
idea.
Yes,
you can
I can make a
you can
playlist. Yeah.
you can
Mhm.
go watch. But yeah, again, okay, well, should we adjourn the meeting? Have we
Yeah,
taken care have
I think we've
did
covered
everybody, like,
everything.
take the
Yes.
minutes of the
Thank
meeting
you.
and
Yes.
That's
and
a
you
wrap, everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming.
yes,
And KP, thank you so
Yes.
much for all your information and all your knowledge that you put
yeah,
out there. It's
Yes.
always
thank
enjoyable
you.
and we have a wonderful time. But yeah,
Yeah,
I will put all this in a playlist, not not tomorrow, but
I'll make a comeback.
We'll get the
Oh,
playlist
like,
going.
whenever. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
just saying that there
it's
there's
easier if you
there's
have a
3
playlist.
before this, and if you wanna watch them, then if
Right.
it's easier to put them in a playlist and not
Mhm.
search your whole page for them, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, I'd like to see pottery make a comeback. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I don't
Pottery, yeah.
Pottery is
well,
always a good one.
yeah, and, I know we're just delaying I'm sorry, Melody posted something on your community page that she found some hole or she shared some
Yes,
hole,
I
Yes.
saw that.
Mhm.
and it's so lovely to see that for real because of our chat about that, and
Right.
yeah, if you have things to share, please keep going over to the Sisters Society. I think is it called
It's
Revive
a
the Sisters
society, yeah.
Society
Right. It's just a
Facebook page
society. Yes.
and share things
Yeah,
because
definitely
we
share what
love
you guys are
seeing
finding.
what you have
And
and
yeah,
absolutely, right.
sounds good.
And,
All right,
yeah.
everyone. Thank
Alright,
you so much.
yep.
And I
Well,
hope you guys have a wonderful night. And we'll see you on Tuesday on
yes.
Vintage Uprising Texas's channel.
Mhm.
All right. Good night,
Good
everyone.
night,
Alright.
everybody.
All right.
Bye
Good
for
night.
now.
Yeah.
Bye
Yep.
bye.
Bye.